Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Yeah, last session we have struggled figuring out what the hell is wrong with the heat haze effect of the microwave tank. I'm none the wiser. We have some clues. We know like which function is at fault, but we don't know what is actually the problem. Yeah. So I'm downloading another SDK right now, and yeah, that is still ongoing. I thought maybe another thing we can look into while we wait for that. I think we still did not look into the debug help crash on game launch. Let me put that thing back, debug help, DLL. And I think that should crash the game on launch. Let me see. Yeah, it does. And it crashes it. Huh. Huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, it crashes in an ATI function, ATI DLL. Does that belong to Windows? The anti-DLL is Windows kernel as well, but what is RTE? Is that a driver from the AMD graphics cards? I'm not sure. Aha, so this is not Windows. It probably belongs to AMD. Okay. We see a debug parallel stacks. Parallel stacks. Okay, that call stack is really weird. Exception settings. Okay, we have pretty much everything enabled. Roundabout. Yeah, how do we deal with that problem? We could say that we're not allowed to load this debug help DLL, or we just rename this file. Yeah, on game launch. file version is 5. It's a very old file from 2003. It's not much of a wonder that it crashes now, decades later. Yeah, how do we deal with that? I don't know. Okay, so it crashes on create device. Debug help, DLL. Oh, I already have a core stack in here. Let's add a new one. Yeah, good question. It's unclear what the ATI driver does in here. It wants to create the DirectX device. Yeah. And we have to call this. There's no other way. Yeah, I think this is out of our control. Yeah. 220. Yeah, no idea. What perhaps would prevent this issues if we loaded the DirectX. A workaround here could be to say, if there is a debug help DLL, then we temporarily rename it when we create the direct 3D device. Yeah. But only if it's this debug help. This one. Well, one in general. Yeah. 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 Can do that. Okay, let me search how many places are calling this. Just this one place. Okay. But then the problem is if this would crash, then okay. Windows rename file. Windows API rename file. Move file. Existing file name. Okay. Bool. Okay. So what we maybe can do is bool move debug help DLL. Moved debug help DLL. Move file. Existing file name. And we have this debug help DLL. And then we rename it to debug help DLL.bug. No. And then here, when we're done, has moved. Let me say if has moved this, and then we move it back. Dot bug Yeah, that's the best solution I can think of. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how that works. Maybe that's good enough. Okay, so we now have a debug help DLL here. Yeah. Now we rename it. Yeah, it's a bug file now. Now we create the interface. Let's see if that crashes. And it still crashes. Ah, because it's already in the process. By the way, this code is in Gentoo here. I just see. Modules. So debug help is already loaded, right? Yeah, it's already loaded. So that's not helping. Yeah, no, that won't work. That doesn't work. Right. Any other solution? If we go to the main function, win main. Win main. Is it debug help loaded right off the bat? Yeah, it is. It's loaded straight away. Even before we reach win main. Okay, so we have no way of defending ourselves from loading this unless we don't even link against. Yeah, we would have to not link against debug help lib. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Visual Studio Code. Let's search for dbghelp.lib. That's not found. Debug help. CMake. Debug help CMake. There we go. Okay, then how about we comment this one out? Yeah. Yeah. Then we go to projects, CMake, RTS, configure, generate. So maybe what we have to do is reload this library dynamically. Yeah, I think we might get linker errors now, compile errors even. Let's see what happens. Well, release, maybe it works. What we could also do is we just, one failed. Okay, what has failed? Debug help lip. What is this? Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. I think, I mean, if, let's say release will compile. It doesn't. Okay. Okay, it doesn't compile. But maybe we can make it compile and release so that only debug builds would require a debug. Let me see. Fill stack addresses. Stack walk. Okay, do we have a declaration of this function? We do. Okay, well, if we have a declaration of this, then we know what we expect, and then we just we get this with get proc address, right? Yeah. Okay, what do we need for that? Maybe we can already find something baked that we can just pick up. Debug help, load module, get proc address. Maybe I can just ask ChatGPT. Can you write me a class that can you write me a C++ class that loads dbghelp.dll on Windows and gets pointers to all its exported functions? Oof. Okay, that's not what I expected here. That's not what I expected. Yeah, this is this is really not what I expected. That's interesting. So get proc by name basically. Can you write this without the string map lookup, but just store the functions, the function pointers and variables in class member variables? Yeah, that's more like it. I think we can use that as a starting point and then we figure out the rest. Like I see there already some errors, like, oh well, it does have the free here. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay, I think we can use that to get started with. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Okay, so we need these functions here. Yeah. Okay, so we need stack walk. That's this guy. Stack walk. Sim set options. Sim cleanup. Oh, that's not found. Oh, it is. Okay. Sim function table access. All right. Oh, that's 64. Ooh. Table exit. Oh, we just took that. Get module base. Okay, so far so good. Module base, sim initialize, yeah. Oh. And this one. Okay. And load module. This one. Okay, so we have all the pieces here. Yeah, okay. Okay, then next step we go to we find this function here, fill stack addresses. So that's in stack dump.h. We open that folder. It's in common. Okay. Then we create a new file in here and call that debug help loader. Okay. Then we go to stack dump here, system. And here we put the CPP. Okay. Then we search for stack dump CPP. Stack dump .cpp. Good. Then here we add debug help loader CPP. Behind before debug. Yeah, there we go. The downside here is though that all these guys will then have a dependency on game engine. Oof. For now it's fine, I guess. We can revisit it later. Okay, stack dump.h. Stack dump debug, common debug. There we go. Okay. Good. Then we take this guy and we compile one more time. Oh shit, we added this to generals, not to 0 hour. Oh, that's unpleasant. There's unpleasant. I could actually add it to core straight away. No. Doesn't need to be here. Debug help loader. Debug CPP. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's try that. So it should compile and still have the link error, right? Okay, cannot find source file. Okay, well, it's worse than I thought. Ah, because we didn't put it there, right? Okay. So we take this file and we put it into core. There we go. And then we take this file and we put that in core as well. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. Oof. Okay, now we open the debug help loader. Yeah. Then in there we put a nice header first. Okay. And there, okay. Then we do a pragma once. Then we start with the suggestion here, this here, blah, pragma once, windows.h. Is that necessary? The windows.h? Maybe. Okay, we cannot use using, we need to use type diffs. Type diff. How is this written? I think we have to put it like this. No, the other side, yeah. Like this, yeah. Put it like this. Okay, so then what we do is we put this simply in here. Okay, so far so good. Then let's also add the other guys here that we need. So we have stack walk. Oh boy. Let's first remove all this garbage here. Oh boy. Okay, that's pretty long, isn't it? Okay, so let's type def. T. Okay, interestingly, that uses image API and not Win API. I don't know if that is legit. Okay, that doesn't work. Why not? Okay, this one we actually already have. Towards sim options. Okay, let's use Win API. Okay. Okay. So this one we already have, so we can delete that. Cleanup we also already have. This one is somehow not recognized. Why not? Image help.h. Let me go stack dump. Stack dump. What header does it include? We don't know. What is this here? Oh, it does do a get proc address here. Look at that already. Oh. Okay. Interesting that it already does it manually here once. One function. Okay, then how about we take this one here as well? This one. Let's copy this. Let's type def bool. It's this one here. Okay, well, in that case, we already have taken care of this. We can remove that. Okay, but I still have the question, how does it, what header do we need to include? That's a question. Stack dump.h. What header? Huh. I don't understand which header we need here. Maybe it's in pre-RTS. Ah, here, image help.h, okay. Let's put that in here. Do we still need windows.h then? Maybe not. Image API. Okay, we do need windows.h. Define lean and main win32. Take win API. Okay. Good. So what we need to do now is format these guys. Okay. Do we care about these in and outs? Do we care about that? Probably not. Remove all that. Only keep the essentials. Okay. Good. Then we remove that. I wonder if it's really a good idea to delete all this. For documentation purposes, it's probably useful to have that. Yeah. So it's H process. That's F. Oh, look at that. What is this doing? Oh, we already have something here. Look at that. That looks like it will help us. Looks like there already is such code. Look at that. Where's this use? Nowhere. Okay. Let me search for debug help. Oh, so this code sits up here, but it's not used. Okay. Okay. What we can use helps us a bit, I guess. Okay, so we have this initialize. We have the cleanup T. We have this one. Ah, here we have another sim initialize. Okay. Let's put that to the top. T. Set options T. Module base. Okay, what else do we need? This one we have, okay, and we delete that. This one we have, okay. Sim initialize T we have. Good. This one we have. This one we have. That's it. Okay, looks like we have all we need. Okay. How about we format this in the way that we put all these like this? That's a bit easier to read, I would say. The arguments. Otherwise, it's just a big mess. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. There we go. Good. Then next we put sim initialize T, yeah. So we remove this. We put our type devs up here. What are these characters here? What is this? Huh? What is this here? There's some character here. What is this? Huh? Am I stupid? There is something here, but I can't remove it. What is this? I don't get it. Also here. What is this symbol? Huh. Something is weird here. Okay. Okay, so we have DLL module, DLL path. I don't think we need that actually. What is this here? Okay, so we have this guy. This guy. This. We don't need this. Unload. We can move this one closer to this one. We can move this here as well. Okay. Stack walk. Okay, and this here. Okay, we can move that here. Okay. Okay, I think this looks good for starters. Okay. I still don't understand why there is this symbol here. What happens if we do X? It's still there. I don't understand. Now it's gone. No, now it's here. What is this? What is this symbol here? The two dots. I don't understand. Now it's here. What is this? Weird. Okay. Good. Okay, what do we know next? Loads. I don't think that we store the DLL path. We only store the module. Okay, Then we go with the next one here. IO stream. IO stream. No idea why that is there. Okay, we need a void unload. There we go. Okay, here we remove this. That's stupid. We can, I think we can simply, yeah, I think that's fine. So this one will simply do nothing. And this one will call debug unload if it's not h module 0 free library. What's the problem here? DLL module. Okay, so this one will call unload. Load library. DLL path. If h module 0 return false. Okay, I don't know why this file prints red everywhere. Because it doesn't see this file. Okay. Include common. There we go. Okay, here we need a void. Okay, then here we do that. Then we take this stuff, put that here. We remove that. Okay. Okay, then we assign this stuff. Okay. I don't know why there's a space here. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Free library. Load library. Good. Then some cleanup. There we go. Oh, we have this twice here. How did that happen? Oh, no idea. hold on. Clean up, load module. Okay, what we do? Ah. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see there are conflicts here. Maybe we need to name them differently. Function f. Func. Or we call them m. We need to give them different names so they're not colliding with some other symbols. Because this is colliding somehow. Let's do that. Okay. It didn't work because some of the names are actually wrong here, I just realized. Okay. So maybe we can remove the M. Maybe. Let's see. Some cleanup, load module, unload, that. Okay, so the names look correct now. Let's look at this here one more time. Okay, that actually doesn't look too bad now. Okay. Then let's fix the names here. Man, I can't talk. I can't talk. Okay, so this looks about right. We just assume that they're all good. Yeah, we do the best we can. Actually, we should probably say if not semi-initialize, or let's say if null or that null or that is null. Oh Jesus. Unload. Okay. Then we take that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. There we go. Okay, so if one of these is null, then return false. Okay, so that should work. Yeah, debug load helper. Okay, good. Then next step, we unload. We also should set this one to. Do we need to call a close handle on this or not? Nah, free library. Close handle, nah. We just set that to null. We should also initialize it to null. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Load. This one is already there. There we go. There we go. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? I wonder if we now get ambiguous. No, we don't get ambiguity. Should be fine. Maybe we should still mark them as members though. I think it doesn't hurt to mark them as members so they really have unique names that don't collide ever with any defines or so. You never know what Microsoft does with yeah, let's go with that. Okay, now they have pretty unique names. That's good. Okay, next. Well, they are public function, public pointers, but I think that's okay. Yeah, it's all right. Good. Then the stack walk function, wherever that was, it was in stack dump, right? Stack dump. Here. Good. So. Stack walk. Make stack trace. Make stack trace. Let's stack dump. Is there like an init function or so? Init symbol info. So I think what we can do is we remove this guy. What is this GS init? So I think we remove this. Instead, we put here the include common debug help loader. Right, and then we put here a GS static debug help loader, GS debug help loader. And then we get module handle debug help. Looks like it's leaking this handle, isn't it? Okay, so remove this. Then here we do load. And then we do we say if not load, return false. Okay, and then we need to call this there we go. Sim cleanup. Oh, of course, sim cleanup. Okay. 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 Then let's try to catch all the functions here. Yeah. Get line from address. Okay, we don't have that function. Okay. Okay, so I'm missing some function here. Why? Okay, what is this function? Debug image help h. Okay, this function does exist. It does, yeah. Get line. Get line from address. Okay, type def. Win API. T. Okay. There's some error here. Here. There we go. Okay. So we have that symbol as well. Let me create a copy of this one and put that in there. There. Okay, so far so good. Somehow it doesn't find it. Right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's a lot of boilerplate code needed for this bullshit. Okay, well, the rest seems to be correct. And then we also need to add this here. There we go. Okay, are we good? Are we good? Stack trace. Stack trace. Stack dump. Okay, now it finds it. Unsupported. With my current debug help DLL. Okay. Need some water. Okay, so the hope is that it compiles now. Almost. We still have linker errors. Okay, what is it? Aha, there's more. Let me create a copy gs debug help loader .m. There we go. Anything else? Let's try again. Still. Make stack trace. Make stack trace. There's more somewhere. Ah, here. And here. Let's try again. There's still one more. Get function details. Get here. Where is it? There. Okay, we got all of them. And now the question is, when is this called? This init function. Init symbol info. Do we know when this is called? It's called on demand. Yeah, in its symbol info. This could be a very expensive, couldn't it be? Actually, hold on. Okay, so it's called at some point eventually, right? So it doesn't mean it's called very early. It's just called sometime, maybe. Yeah. So we can probably say we can say here in the load function, if the module hold on, if it returns false, we should probably say here a boolean, just boolean, fails. What? Yeah, if M fails. How about that? M fails. Fails false. Okay, and then we say base type core, base type includes base type dot h. Lib. Okay, we say if M fails, return false. I think that's a stupid false. Okay. Okay. Here we say M fails. I don't like this M fails. I think it's okay. M fails. True. Fails. Fails false. Okay. Uninitialized. Right. Right. There we go. Okay. Failed. Da, da, da. I think here, when this has failed, we can also set this to 0 again. Okay, and so in its symbol, it already is guarded here. It already is guarded. Okay, it already does this initialization once only. That means we don't need that in our loader, I think. Debug help loader. Okay, then never mind. Abort mission, revert that bullshit again. Hold on. If this fails, we should unload, right? Yeah. Unload. Actually, no, we don't need to unload. We just return false. Yeah. I think this is fair. This is fair. Then we remove this again, and this somehow is still complaining. Okay, then we go to stack dump. Then here I would say we don't actually return false. We just keep on going. We keep on going. Because, let me see. Because it doesn't really test it, right? It just assumes that it succeeds. Yeah. It's not very safe though, isn't it? Yeah, that's not safe. We need to check everywhere. Yeah. Okay. If not that, return. Actually, oh, I'm stupid. No, I'm not stupid. If not loads, return false. Yeah, I think that is the safest here. And here we also return. Yeah. If not that, return. There we go. If not, return. Okay. Okay, that works. Then next. Return true. Sim cleanup. If we go in here, then we should also call unload here. Then here we should also call unload. Okay, I think this makes sense, yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Let's go to create device, here. Where's it creating the device here? Maybe. Yeah, let's put a breakpoint in here. Okay. Okay. I totally forgot about this code. Let me remove that. Okay. And crash. Okay. It is still crashing. Why? Modules. Huh. Debug help is loaded. Okay. I see. Who loaded this though? Let me go back in here. Let me de-optimize this code. Pragma optimize. I can't type. Jesus Christ. Default resolution width. What the hell is this resolution here? Oof. Jesus Christ. What happened? Oh, it just booted? Hold on. Did it just boot? Why does it not set a breakpoint? What is this? What's happening? Why can I not put a breakpoint here? Oh. Okay, so it has booted because it has now renamed that debug help file with old code. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Okay, so let's see modules, debug help. D. Okay, we don't have debug help loaded. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, this looks very promising. That means I expect that this now works. Shit, it still fails. Oh my gosh. Why? Huh. Could it be that it now... It could it be that this ATI, this one is loading debug help as well? So we do need to rename it now. Still. Let me see. Okay, so right now we don't have debug help loaded. And now that worked because we renamed the file. And now we rename it back. It's a bit dirty. Is there another way where we can say is there a way to prevent another DLL from loading debug help DLL? Is there a way to prevent another DLL from loading debug help DLL without hooking calls to load library? Preventing another DLL from loading without hooking is very difficult and most not reliable. Here are the realistic techniques. Load yourself early and lock it. You can preload your own copy of debug help and potentially use virtual protect to mark it non-executable. Strict loading. Restrict loading via application manifest. Okay. Run in restricted app container. Usefulness medium. Hooking load library. Yeah. Yeah, but hooking is also dirty. It's platform. It's not portable. No, we shouldn't do that. No, I think we need to do the renaming. Yeah. 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 But it's bad because if it would crash here in this moment, it won't ever name it back, right? So that's not good. Is there maybe a better solution? We need to prevent ATI driver from loading this thing. Well, we could write out another file that we have moved this. That would work. Yeah. Yeah, no failure. Yeah, so we can improve this by writing a file that indicates that we have renamed the file. And then we delete that file once we have renamed it back. That works. Yeah. That's also relatively robust. It's still dirty, but it will work. It will work. Yeah. For most of the time. But it's also not ideal. The best would be if we could say don't load dbghelp.dll. Yeah. Oh, can we think of a good solution here? By the way, there's still an error in stack dump. I think we actually do need to put this in here. Bool fails. Fails. False. Fails true. Failed true. Unload. Okay. I think it has to be like this. So then it, if this would fail, then it would skip past this. I think this would work. Okay, but that doesn't solve this problem here. Yeah, how do we deal with this? We don't want to hook. We could change the work directory. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Oh. That could cause other unexpected problems, right? Windows block access to file. We could access a file with write. Yeah. That could work. So we don't move the file. We don't touch it, but we open a file handle. File. File. So debug debug help file to fopen file name debug help.dll fopen file for reads. Opening modes. Such as file, the file or its contents are overwritten. Search the file is its content are overwritten. File the length and the file is created. Its contents are. It creates a new file for writing only. We just want to search this file. The file exists already. Its contents are overwritten. If the file doesn't exist, a new file is created. Unable. It creates a new file for writing only. If we open it with W, will it delete or empty the file, or will it leave it untouched? I don't know that. Let me create a copy of it, just in case. Okay, for some reason, let me go away here. So file, identifier file is undefined. Why? What header do we need? fopen stdio, yeah. It already is included. What's the problem? What is it? Oh, capital file, right. Okay, and then after this, we do close fclose, right? And now we can maybe we just open a new scope here. Okay, let's see if that works. It's still a hack, but it's not as dirty, I would say. Yeah, it's not as dirty. And if the program would crash on device creation, the handle would be lost anyway. Windows would clean that up, right? But we don't physically touch it. We don't move it around. So that's good. If it works. Let me see. We just need to hope that it doesn't like write it now. Oh, it does. Okay. Well, that doesn't work. Okay, that was what I was afraid of, that it just writes it to 0, right? That's not good. Okay, let's get it back. Okay, okay, so that doesn't work. How can we open it with right flag? There must be some way. Ah, with A. File for appending, A. There we go, AB. There we go. That should work, AB. Okay, let me see that. Yeah, that works. And it still crashes. Okay, it somehow is still able to load that debug help DLL. Huh. Or it sees it's there and then it does something. That's a shame. Okay, so that doesn't work. Oh, it's too bad. So we need to rename it. We need to rename it, yeah. I can't think of anything else. Yeah. 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 Okay. Then we say if has moved debug help DLL. Then we create here a debug. How about we create a new class for this? Class debug help remover class. Okay, debug help remover class. So we have a constructor and we have a destructor. Okay. Then we have a private, public. So we have a private file, file. Good. So we say if move file is not false, and then here we say if file is not null, then here we initialize that with null, and then we say if we do a file if open file name debug help dot. Well, I hope that we have permissions to write. Oof. Well, we will see. Debug help. Debug help. .dll .mov. Debug help DLL. Debug help. Debug help. Debug help moved. Debug help. Debug help removed. How about that? We call it WB. Okay. Then here we call fclose that, and then we also do remove. Remove M file. Is that legal? Remove. Oh, we need the path of this file. Move file. Debug help.bug. Debug help. Okay, how about we do like this? Remove. Okay. I think that works. Okay, then we remove this garbage here. And this garbage. And that. And that. When we do this, debug help remover. Okay. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah. Good. We step in here. Okay, so we move the file, and if that file was moved, we open a new M file, which is now here. And then we do that, yeah. And now it shouldn't crash, and it doesn't crash. And then we destroy it again, this. We move the file back. And then we fclose. And then we delete this file. Yeah. Okay. This works. this works. Now I hope that this also works in restricted spaces. So for example, if you have if the game is located in program files, then applications are not allowed to modify files easily. So that could be a problem, maybe. Yeah, okay, but yeah, I mean, then there's nothing that can be done, right? Yeah, it needs some privilege here. Okay, but it does help to avoid the crash on a fresh install. Okay. Oh shit, it still crashes. Oh, it crashes later. Oh. Wait, so we have multiple calls to that. What is that? Why do we call it so often? What is this? How often do we call this function? What is this? Create device. Okay, for some reason this I'm confused. Why are there multiple codes passed that create a device? What is this? What is this? Ugh. Okay, I'm confused. I'm surprised that there is another code pass that creates a device when we had a fix here, this one, which touched a completely different location, right? This one here. There is 3D display in it. This function. Set render device. That will call that, and that will call create device. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's a place here. There's a place there. And there is this place which we touched, and that calls that. Okay, so okay, I'm a bit worried that now every call to DirectX will attempt to call. Okay. Maybe we need to do this higher up. So we have set render device in it. Set render device. Yeah. We don't want to rename that file many times, right? So maybe maybe we can put it here in the init function. Yeah. Okay, how about we check the call stack the first time it is called? Okay, it's also on init. Okay, so maybe we should put it here instead. Okay. So what we can do is we take this guy, we copy that, and we put it here. Yeah. And we put it here. Debug help remover. There we go. Let's try that. My worry is that now every call into DirectX will attempt to will make the ATI driver attempt to load debug help.dll, right? Like any call into the driver. That could be, right? Yeah. Okay. So we have renamed the file now. This one now does nothing because it's already renamed. This one will pass. Then let's put breakpoints here on the other places. Yeah. Let's put a breakpoint here and here. Let's see. Yeah. So this one now also passes. Okay, great. Because the file is still renamed, right? Yeah, it's still renamed. Okay, and now what? Will it crash afterwards? Oof, it works. Okay, cool. Okay, let's load into submission or so. Okay, that's good. So the ATI driver only tries to load something on device creation. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, I think we can go with that. We need to clean it up though and make sure that it works correctly with debug enabled and everything. So yeah, still a bit of work to get that all good. Okay, but it looks very promising. That means we can reset this one. Good. Let's clean up the files a little bit. Okay. That looks simple enough. Okay. Okay, cool. Then I will try to clean this up in the next session. For now, I'm done. Yeah. Let me. Um, where's it? Debug help. Good. Sign. Yeah. I have a reasonable workarounds for this issue. I've drafted a reasonable workaround for this issue. Good. What do you think is better? Good. Yeah, I think I'm done here. It was 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours 30 almost. Okay, good. I will end it here. You got a bit of stuff done. That's good. Yeah. I wish you a great day or night until next time. Goodbye.